What if I told you that becoming the richest person in history would be the worst day of your life? You now own $1 trillion, more wealth than anyone has ever imagined. You can buy almost anything on earth, but within hours, your face is everywhere. Every news channel, every phone, every country. Crowds gather outside your home, strangers track your every move, and suddenly, money can't buy the one thing you desperately need: privacy. So what really happens when you become the world's first trillionaire? Let's find out.
Look at the wealthiest people on Earth. You are now worth more than 4 Jeff Bezoses combined. You are a trillionaire. This comparative bar chart shows standard billionaire wealth scaling up 4 times to reach the $1 trillion threshold. It's an almost incomprehensible amount of money. If you spent $1 million every single day, you wouldn't go broke for another 2,700 years. Because of that scale, your purchases get weird. You don't buy a Bugatti. You buy the entire Bugatti company for $2 billion. That is 0.2% of your net worth, the equivalent of someone making $100,000 a year buying a jacket. Your accountant logs it as a rounding error. Your old Honda Civic won't cut it anymore, and neither will commercial flights. So you drop $400 million to buy a Boeing 747 and have it gutted and rebuilt into a private flying residence. Here is the craziest part about having that much capital. Even sitting in the most boring investments on Earth, your net worth grows by tens of millions of dollars every single day. You literally make money faster than you can spend it. But because everyone on the planet knows exactly who you are, trying to grab a simple coffee from your favorite local spot requires 45 minutes of advance notice and a tactical security operation. You can't just walk outside anymore. The resources that were supposed to give you absolute freedom have instead turned you into the most high-value target on Earth. To get away from the cameras and the crowds, you buy a 14-acre compound hidden behind iron gates and high walls, complete with its own private road. A property that size requires a massive support system. Between the private chefs, drivers, IT staff for the security systems, and the groundskeepers, you now have 63 people working at your house just to keep daily life functioning. But physical walls can't protect you from the legal system. Almost immediately, a woman in Arizona files a lawsuit claiming you verbally promised her $10 million at a fundraiser, even though you have never set foot in the state. 17 similar lawsuits roll in during the first 6 months. Fighting them costs hundreds of thousands of dollars each, pushing your annual legal budget past $40 million. You end up renting an entire floor of a law firm just to deal with strangers willing to lie in a courtroom to get your money. You successfully hid your physical body behind armed guards and gates, so the public simply shifted their attacks to the courts. The isolation starts to infect your inner circle next. When you invite your old college roommate to the compound, the guy who used to argue with you spends 2 straight days laughing at your unfunny jokes and agreeing with every word you say. Dating becomes a paranoid exercise. You meet someone great, but you quickly realize she already knows your pilot's name and your favorite car because she ran a search on you. Then a valet leaks your dinner date to a tabloid, and suddenly her normal private life is destroyed by threatening messages from strangers. Even your history is up for grabs. Someone you knew years ago takes a joke you made in a dorm room back in 2011, strips it of context, and sells it to a magazine for $250,000. The money eventually fractures your family. You quietly pay off your brother's mortgage when you hear he's struggling, but he stops speaking to you. At family dinners, the wealth creates a gap so wide that he won't even look you in the eye. The final blow comes from inside the house. Your security team discovers that one of your own trusted housekeepers has been consistently selling information to gossip columns, tracked down through the hidden metadata on a leaked photo. Your limitless resources have purchased a flawlessly secure environment, but they have systematically stripped away your ability to trust another human being. So you retreat entirely. Your compound runs like a perfect humming machine, keeping the outside world at bay, but leaving you completely alone inside it. It's 3 a.m. and you're awake. You wander out of your master's suite and walk past the empty 60-seat movie theater and the empty library, moving through the massive, silent corridors. The only sound is a faint mechanical hum. At the end of the hall, an automated security lens adjusts, tracking your every step. When you stop, it stops. You step outside onto the cold, wet grass and look up. It's the exact same sky, with the same silent stars that you used to stare at from the roof of your old apartment building back when you couldn't pay rent. The stars haven't moved at all. Everything underneath them has. You have 60 people maintaining this property, yet you are the only one who actually lives here. $1 trillion gave you absolute control over the world, but the ultimate price was your permanent eviction from human society.